Good morning. It's a different Friday this time. This time, we're starting it slow. Yeah, we're starting it slow. Share with you where I am currently starting it. It's in this current certain location. Yeah, keep this location, even though I know for a fact that some people already know where this location is. Much as I want to actually sit properly, this chair seems to be too wobbly, and I can't exactly entrust it with all of my whatchamacallit body weight. So yeah, let's just finish off and just leave. I'm just probably gonna I'll just have this one whatever with this one scene here. For those who know this location, it's Kilium Cafe. And no, I'm not gatekeeping. I don't believe in that. And yeah, I decided to start my Friday morning here. And here we go. I mean, I'll have to admit the sun is hitting me because this is early morning sun. And yeah, I'll probably have to step inside because it's getting warm and it's getting hot, and I can actually notice my forehead just glistening under the sun. But it's a nice location. It's located inside of this garden in Medinat Al-I'lam. I'm pretty sure you already know it. You already have seen it. You've probably even had your coffee here. And after that little morning outing, I'm now back home. And the stuff that I ignored since yesterday, I know for a fact that I have to face them. One of them is hidden in that first door, the kitchen. Yes, there are stuff. There are dishes, not just stuff. Actually, there is stuff overall, but mainly dishes that I need to clean. So let's go and clean. Okay, so hello again. Um, Chores were done, and obviously I had to go and have some rest. And now I am up again. And actually, I'll be stepping out in a bit and obviously taking you along with me. But I wanted us to talk. I wanted us to sit and talk because there has been quite a few things that have been happening that need to be shared. Now, the first thing that came to my mind is it's an interesting philosophical concept, but hear me out. And I'm pretty sure some people already know of this concept and they are pretty much aware. And I mean, now that's probably another talking point that I'm going to add into the whole talking points that I want to, share with you guys. Um, People have a particular perception of yourself. Let me repeat that again. People have a particular image or perception of yourself printed in their heads. Now, why am I saying this is because I remember I was having this interesting conversation with a couple of friends. You know what? Not friends, acquaintances. Name things as they are. Acquaintances. المهم. So what really what really caught my attention was the fact that this particular conversation with this particular group of acquaintances really shed the light that people have a limited image of who you are in their own heads, and that if something you are seeking to do or seeking to change, or actually no, they have a certain opinion. That was the whole gist of the conversation that happened with that group of friends, is that someone voiced an opinion and I was like, why would you want to say that kind of opinion? Now I don't want to deep dive into the whole situation, because the more that I go into the situation, the more people will feel attacked. So, yeah, let's not do that. But the gist of it remains, the main idea remains, where someone expressed an opinion about me, and then I was like, that's a very interesting opinion about me coming from you. Now, there is a lot to unpack as well from this particular interaction, because opinion is literally like the lowest form of information, or sorry, the lowest form of data. Like it's literally like everyone has an opinion. It's almost like saying the sun sets from the east and sorry, oh my god, I have messed that up so much. It's like stating the obvious but in a really weird way, if that makes sense. But I digress. That was the whole, like this particular point was the catalyst of the whole topic. And then it made me come to the realization that this person expressed this particular opinion based on what they know about me, and based on how they like built that image of me and them. And then it made me even think a little bit more about all the other opinions that people have about me. Not that I care about them in the end of the day, especially if they are really like, coming from a place of ambiguity and um, ignorance, since they don't even know most of what I do. And honestly, at this point in time, I've started keeping a lot of things about myself for a lot of this particular reason. But yeah, people have interesting opinions about yourself based on how they see you, and it is what it is. Anyways, the second part of the whole talking point that I wanted to actually share was awareness. And again, again, the more I deep dive into these topics, the more I talk about them, and the more that I talk about the background or the stories that made these particular stories or made these particular instances, the more I feel like, why am I surrounded with these people? But anyway, again, I'll give you the gist of it. There was a person where I had this particular, let's say, disagreement with. There could have been like perhaps a potential fallout between me and them, but what happened was, okay, they did something wrong. I didn't like it, and at the same time, I just dipped down, and I was like, you know what, this isn't something that I don't want to accept and I don't want to have in my life. And you know what, I probably am like wouldn't want to consider this person in my life again. But then one of my friends had to like play the mediator of the fallout between me and this particular person, and had to tell me this very unfortunate reality that I honestly, personally, I wasn't having it, and personally I really didn't accept it. But apparently this is how people are operating. This particular friend told me that the mediator, just to be clear, the mediator, not the person that I had a falling out with, the mediator told me people lack self-awareness. As easy as that. People are not aware of the things that they do, and people function in life without really realizing or being self-aware of themselves or how they conduct themselves amongst people, or amongst, like, general public. And it made me begrudgingly have to accept that, okay, because after the falling out with this other person, we did patch up. But again, coming back to the whole awareness topic, I it's unfathomable for me specifically to realize that there are people that are just unaware of themselves. They just go around life and they're like, doing whatever they're doing. And whatever they're doing can be right, can be wrong, can be questionable, can be whatever. But how is it that people operate like that? Like, have the audacity to think that, okay, what they're doing is not wrong. And then they had to be told that they are wrong in order for them to, like, fix themselves up. Like, wouldn't it be the other way around? Wouldn't it be where the people themselves are actually the ones that are conducting themselves properly, are the ones that are, like, know how to, like, act and do right? But, like, no, that's not the case, unfortunately. And that was what the whole situation that has been happening to me personally in this particular period. Yeah, that's how it is. And so, with that, I would say those are the two main things that have been happening in my life. There has been quite a few things that has been happening in this particular previous period. And yes, I haven't exactly addressed the fact that I decided to just go like this. So yeah. I mean, okay, if we're going to address the hair, it's just something that happened in the spur of the moment, and that is pretty much it. So yeah, that is how life is at the moment.
Use, you will say, okay, put this back, you will use the diffuse, put the lip. Okay? So, you've diffused.
اللي حصل من فيه هو اللي يوصل. الحين هو مثلا كان كم؟ إذا وقف 25 الراوند الجاي مثلا حصل 10 صار 35 يجمع عليه ما يوصل 200 أو واحد
كم قول؟
عليه أول شخص يسوي أو 100 على حسب
كم راوند تسوي؟